Hey you guys, what's going on? So today's Saturday, October 24th, and I just wanted to put together a little video and kind of run through what I've been going through the last few days. So, trading is despair when you have a good run for a few weeks and then in 2, 3 days you manage to find yourself exactly where you started. So it's basically 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. And this is the common thing that occurs in trading for everybody. It's a really typical pattern. I want to talk to you about it a bit in today's video, and unfortunately it's a depressing topic because this is the reality for the majority of traders when they're learning, and even experienced traders too. Traders that are experienced but are having trouble maintaining consistency. And some market environments are just hard to deal with, and one skill in trading is just knowing when to pump those brakes and knowing how to admit to yourself when things are just not in your flow, you're just not in your element, and you should probably switch to your demo account to get a flow going if you're a scalper, and then switch back to your live and try again. Thing is, I found that really hard to do this week, and this week in general was just a really hard week, and I managed to pretty much give back all my profits in this small account and lose some too. So the dollar amounts are nothing to cry about. It's the behavior that kind of got on my nerves, and really just the result. It's the result of maintaining consistency for 2 to 3 weeks and just kind of being in a flow and dealing with really small drawdowns, being able to stop when you're down, and then in a matter of 2 to 3 sessions you kind of in this wavy flow, and then sooner or later you just end up pressing the button one too many times, and then you find yourself in a place you didn't want to be in, and then you end up giving into your gambler's tendency even slightly, and then the train just derails itself. So that's trading for you, and that's why trading sucks. All right, so take a look at my journalytics real quick. Here you can clearly see that I did well Monday, then Tuesday was one of those break-even days, Wednesday was one of those break-even days, but notice the drawdown on Wednesday. That's no good. Now, by the way, guys, this is a $200 account that I took to about 370 in these 2 weeks basically, and then managed to give it all back Thursday and Friday, these 2 days, and now the account's at $100. And that's basically the product of me not stopping when I'm clearly not in a flow. So Thursday was an example of when I just read the market wrong, and I was wrong completely. So I accepted it. The loss was more than I anticipated. That's just how it kind of played out. Friday, yesterday, I was very sloppy with some entries, and I noticed that I moved stops around, a very unhealthy behavior to be practicing. And when you start doing that, you're asking for a lot of trouble. It's a really horrible feeling, and I'll tell you why. So over the course of 2 years, imagine this process being repeated at least 15 times. The process of achieving a short run of success, 3 to 4 weeks of consistency, and then in a short amount of time being able to erase all of that and take another step back on top of that. So that's just the feeling of despair, and it's just a horrible feeling, and trading will make you feel this way. This is why I tell people, they're always saying, oh, you have to have this special education, or you should stay on demo, or you should try this, but I guarantee you there is nothing similar between trading a demo account and trading a live account. There's nothing similar between trading a funded account versus your own money. And this is why I advise that if traders are serious, you need to trade your own money. Just trade small, trade risk capital, because you're going to learn a lot in this process, and you're going to feel these emotions that you need to feel, I think, in order to get better and in order to deal with this stuff as it comes to you in the future. Because again, trading is this thing that you're never really going to be satisfied with, and you're always going to be fighting the demon that's trying to get you to risk more than you said you would. So really, it's almost like a zero-sum game at the end of it. Here, I'll read to you a couple of notes I wrote. Broken. The first thing I wrote is broken. Let's see, can you read that? After 2 years of having consistent runs and then giving it all back, consistent run, giving it all back, and doing that, about 10, 12 times, you feel broken. You feel like the market is just constantly punching you in the face. You keep getting back up and you keep getting punched back down. It's a horrible feeling. It's really no good. So one thing I wrote here, this is related to being more humble as a trader, which is learning how to stop and build a flow in your demo account. So if you're experiencing, multiple losses in a row and you're a scalper and you generally have a system that is supposed to have like a 70-80% win rate, then if you're taking 2 or 3 losers in a row, and if the market's hitting your stop soon after, then you're probably reading it wrong, and you need to admit to yourself that you're better off going into a demo account for a few trades to get that flow going, and then kind of ease your way back into the live account. Because what I notice is that when you're doing okay on a given day, it's like the trades just come naturally. But when you're not doing okay, every trade you take, you're getting more and more on tilt. The market is sort of tilting you, and you're going to be more at risk of making decisions that you are not supposed to. So the next thing I wrote is there is a psychological barrier when it comes to growing an account. So I think that part of the reason why I messed up during this run that I was on was because this week, especially, if you've seen my videos this week, you saw that I was talking about sizing up, and I was talking about psychological things that I was thinking about in regards to sizing up my trades or changing up my trades. But in reality, what I should have been focused on more was the market condition itself, and if it's presenting good opportunities to trading. Instead of that, I was focused on, when am I going to size up to 2 lots? Honestly, I think that that's pretty much the killer when it comes to trading, is when you start thinking about money, you pretty much lose it. I think as day traders, we need to approach every day individually, and every day you need to approach it and say, how much am I willing to lose today? Because today is its own day, separate from yesterday, and the opportunity that the market presents today will not be the same as any other day, because today is a new day. I didn't follow that at all, because towards the end of this week, Thursday and Friday, the market was not great. Let's be honest. It was hard to trade. It was choppy. A lot of shakeouts, and honestly, the action was just terrible. Just take a look at this price chart. This is a 30-minute chart of the NASDAQ, and you can see there was some opportunity Wednesday, but then look at Thursday and Friday. Horrible this price action is. So apart from the morning sell-off, starting from about 10 o'clock, look at how annoying this action is. I was having a hard time reading some of this action. So I honestly think that, treating every day individually is a big part of it. So like, let's say you grew your account from $200 to $300. Now in your head, you're thinking, okay, my account's $300. So I'm in a different place than I was when I started. But in reality, as a day trader, you can't think that way. You need to be starting from zero every day. Because if you start thinking, now I have $300, then you go down that dark path of, convincing yourself of taking risks that are not necessarily in line with your system. And this all happens on such a subtle, subconscious level. You don't even realize it's happening. But you end up taking trades that you wouldn't normally take. You end up not taking break-evens where you should, and putting on trades that you wouldn't normally take. That's why trading is just so hard, guys. It's just the feeling of getting hit in the face after already being hit in the face many times over the span of about 2 years. That's how long I've been trading. Get hit in the face, and then you spend time working at it, get back up, work at it, build your consistency, stay consistent for about 3 to 4 or 5 weeks, and then a few days, bam, you're back at square one. And then here we go again. You feel like crap, and what did you do wrong? What can you learn from it? And this is the endless process that I've been going through for 2 years. It's honestly a very depressing process. That's why I wouldn't recommend trading to anybody, honestly, because it will make you feel like crap in the learning process. And people are going to say, you need education. You need the right education. Don't even give me that, dude. Every professional trader knows that trading is probably the most emotionally taxing thing you can do. And it doesn't matter how much education you have. And a friend of mine wrote that in the chat room, something from Axia Futures. The reason majority fail in becoming a professional trader is that the majority have performance goals instead of learning goals, which is true. However, there's danger in learning as well, because this is what I wrote. When they learn, they will still mess up because they hold the belief that what they learn makes them better. I'm a huge believer in learning and then unlearning. Formal education is just another illusion of control. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that when you learn something, in order to truly learn, you need to unlearn and then learn again. And basically, it's this endless process, hammer and chisel until you pretty much nail something. And then when you have a sculpture, there's always a chance that your neighbor is going to have a better sculpture, and you need to constantly improve your sculpture. And that's what trading is. It's a job, it's a task, and we have to keep at it. In these videos, guys, I'm trying to give you the reality of my journey. And trading is not really a happy thing. A lot of people are trying to sell you courses. Over here, I'm just telling you about my experiences. I wish you guys all the best, and enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye.